Namaste everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day 8 of the 90-day hard challenge for anthropology. Let's get started. The topic for today is neo-evolutionism. But before starting, I would firstly like to congratulate all of you on successfully completing 1 week of the 90-day hard challenge. I hope that you utilized the buffer day yesterday to complete any leftover work or towards the completion of your notes. With that in mind, let's get started. As we studied till now, a lot of theories starting from classical evolutionism to the latest functionalism and structural functionalism were propounded to explain the development of culture. However, 20th century में मालिनोस्की के द्वारा दी गई फंक्शनलिज्म और रैडक्लिफ ब्राउन के स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शनलिज्म के रिएक्शन में नियो एवोल्यूशनिस्ट थ्योरी दी गई. According to several anthropologists, classical evolutionism was not all that wrong, and they believed in the evolution of culture as well. However, there were several shortcomings in classical evolutionism which they tried to plug, and thus arose neo-evolutionism. So अगर हम neo-evolutionist school की बात करें, so majorly we have British school and American school. In British school we have Victor Gordon Child, as well as in American school we have Leslie White, Julian Stewart, as well as Marshall Sahalins and Elman Service. Now, instead of the country, neo-evolutionists को based on what theory they give classify किया जाता है. So we have three broad classifications of evolutionist theories, which was given by Julian Stewart itself. The first one is unilinear evolution, which was given in the 19th century, and हम उसे classical evolutionism की तरह भी पढ़ते हैं. The second is universal evolution, which was given by V.G. Child and Leslie White. And the third one is multilinear evolution, which was given by Julian Stewart himself. Now, what is the main proposition of neo-evolutionism? According to them, culture एक straight line में evolve नहीं करता है, as was said earlier by classical evolutionism. Instead, उन्होंने कहा कि culture evolves in a parabolic fashion. According to them, एक initial stage से नई stage और नई direction की तरफ culture evolve होता है, and then finally वो अपनी direction initial direction की तरफ change कर लेता है, but in a different form. Let me explain. Consider primitive societies, जहां पर clothes की काफी कमी थी. As a result, the primitive humans were mostly nude, that is, without clothes. However, in the second stage, when agriculture and clothing prospered, then right now the civilization wears clothes. However, according to the neo-evolutionists, this third stage again moves towards nudism. But यहाँ पे nudism is because of fashion and not because of the lack of clothes. Further, classical evolutionism की other shortcomings थी that they were armchair anthropologists and did not do fieldwork. Hence, neo-evolutionism में anthropologists ने काफी fieldwork और ethnographic studies की and hence ये criticism को दूर किया. And finally, classical evolutionism were completely against diffusionist school. However, neo-evolutionists ने diffusion को भी consider किया and balanced it along with the evolution of culture. However, इनके कुछ criticism भी थे. Similar to all other theories, functionalists criticize them for viewing cultural traits in isolation and not as an integrated whole. Having understood the broad outlines of neo-evolutionism, let us now start to look at the individual contributions. The first one is V.G. Child from the British School. V.G. Child was the founder of Universal Evolution School in Britain. इनके हिसाब से, while studying culture, we should look at a general evolution of culture instead of looking at specific societies, hence the term universal evolution. According to V.G. Child, at every stage of evolution, there is increased aggressiveness towards environment, and this can be attributed to increased technology as well. Similar to Child, in America we had Leslie White for the Universal Evolution School. According to Leslie White, classical evolutionists की main दिक्कत ये थी कि they did not have any universal standard for measuring evolution. Thus, Leslie White gave the law of cultural development, जिसमें उन्होंने कहा कि every year the amount of energy harnessed per capita increases. And he gave the formula E into T equals C, that is energy into technology equals cultural development. Do read about the examples of Tundra, Africa, and US in this formula. Further, Leslie White gave the concept of technological determinism, that is, technology affects the other subsystems of culture, that is, sociological and ideological institutions. Further, he gave four broad stages of evolution. Having read about universal evolution, let's move to multilinear evolution by Julian Stewart. Now, Julian Stewart is also called as the father of cultural ecology, as he gave the cultural ecology approach. According to him, किसी भी society का culture depends on the kind of ecology it is present in. Thus, all cultures do not follow a single line of development, and हर society एक अलग stage of evolution में है due to their difference in environment. Thus, the study of particular culture is important. So, in contrast to the universal evolution, according to Julian Stewart, हमें particular society के culture की study करनी चाहिए. And thus, he gave the concept of multilinear evolution. The famous statement by Julian Stewart is that culture and environment are in a dialectic interplay or a reciprocal interplay. Do find such important lines and try to mention them in your answers in order to get brownie points. Now, as you would have noticed, the approach of V.G. Child and Leslie White in universal evolutionism is very different from Julian Stewart's multilinear evolution. वीजी चाइल्ड और लेस्ली वाइट के हिसाब से वी शुड स्टडी अ जनरल डायरेक्शन ऑफ एवोल्यूशन ऑफ कल्चर इंस्टेड ऑफ पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटीज बट जूलियन स्टीवर्ट के हिसाब से वी शुड स्टडी द इंडिविजुअल सोसाइटीज हेंस देयर इज अ डाइकोटमी बिटवीन द टू दिस डाइकोटमी was unified by Marshall Sahalins and Elman Service. Both of them were students and colleagues of Julian Stewart and Leslie White, and thus they integrated both of their approach into a single unified theory. As per Leslie White, the study of a particular society is under the domain of history, while studying the general human society and its development is under cultural evolutionism. On the other hand, Julian Stewart was of the view that evolution of a particular society is what we should study under cultural development, as all the societies are not of the same culture. Sahalins and Service combined Leslie White's universal evolution and Julian Stewart's multilinear evolution into an integrated biocultural approach. According to them, the evolution in the cultural sphere moves in two simultaneous directions. One is the specific evolution, which was propounded by Julian Stewart. Here, a particular society keeps on changing and adapting to its particular environment, giving rise to the cultural diversity. Simultaneously, there is a general evolution, which was given by Leslie White. This measures the general progress of human society into higher and higher forms arising from the lower forms. For instance, human society moved from hunting and food gathering to agriculture, then industrial revolution, as well as the present atomic age. Thus, general evolution takes care of the general direction of cultural development, while specific evolution takes care of the individual societies. That sums up the theory of neo evolutionism. For this particular theory, please do prepare the diagrams of parabolic evolution as well as a few flowcharts of general and specific evolution as well. For the individual anthropologists, do prepare one or two books of each as well as remember the specific theories and points given by each anthropologist contributing to the overall theory of neo evolutionism. That's all for this video. See you all soon. Jai Hind.